On this week's episode, Game of Thrones Limited Edition, Clynelish Reserve. Pwah. Welcome to KillCo Whiskey Musings. My name is Brian. If you happen to have this whiskey, I hope you will join me in this tasting experience. If not, please pour one of your favorite whiskeys, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. Remember to like and subscribe. That's right, folks. It's the last one. November.
Winter is coming.
Bottle from Game of Thrones. Ooh. Again, looks gorgeous, and I immediately think they use coloring. I'll find out later if they do. Also, interesting design there. Look at that. It's so pretty. Look, focus. You son of... There we go. I honestly have no idea what that's supposed to be. I completely have forgotten. But there's one thing I see in this bottle I'm going to enjoy. So I'm talking about 51.2%. Yeah. This is the highest proof out of the ones I've done this entire month. Well, I am looking forward to trying this. I'm also looking forward to next month, sort of. I'm going to be very busy, and you're going to see a lot of me on this channel. So please tune in for that. God damn it. Oh, yeah, so good. So good. Uh-oh, I just got a whiff of it. Not sure if I like that whiff or not. Whoa, that's the stuff right there. Whoa. It's very hard to pour for this camera, believe it or not. And as always, we begin with the color. I am somewhat surprised that when I poured this out, it does not seem as dark as it appeared in the bottle. Let's start with the appearance. I would call this gold. Clarity clear. Sediments none that I can see. Viscosity. It's got some decent legs. Oh god, they're moving so slow. Oh, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be good. The proof is gonna be good. I have no idea if I'm gonna like it, but the slow moving legs is something I like to see. Begin nosing technique. Oh no. Instant musty funky maltiness thing, which I don't like the smell of. So back in we go. Okay, there are some fruit notes. I got a hint of chocolate? What? Oh, it's so musty. Good God. Dried fruits. Specifically, dried... Oh, God, dried... What are they?
3 hours later.
Dried apricots. God, that took way too long for me to figure out. Peppery note as well. Just slight. It's very hard for me to get past that malt funk. But it is toned down, you know, again. Neck pour. Take that for what you will. Air it out a little bit. A little bit of orange citrus. Oddly enough, I don't want to say orange, though. I want to say clementines, because I like clementines. Granted, that is very similar to dried apricot. An interesting note, I cannot tell on the nose that the proof is as high as it is. I'm actually getting, I want to say oak, because I know that's what they're using, but sawdust popped in my brain just a moment ago. Or being in a wood shop. That kind of smell is in the air on this. I'm having flashbacks of doing wood shop in high school, basically. Grain forward, also. The malt is prominent. But it's not as funky weird as it was when I initially smelled it, so that's good. On to phase 2. Intensity on this, 3. Age, this is a no-age statement, and it's from Scotland, so that really does switch up what I think about it. And there is something about it that makes me think it's kind of useful. I don't know if it's just the way the malt is presenting, and I just don't like it that much, which that's my bias. Or maybe it's something to do with the alcohol percentage, but it's a bit spiky. Barrel is very likely used oak because Scotland does that. Grain is malted barley because it says it's a single malt. I just have to say those things enough times to where it actually sticks. Every time I say it, I'm not quite sure. But if I've said it enough times, maybe it'll stick. Smoke, there is no smoke in this. Spices, other than black pepper. A new leather. And I believe I'm getting a hint of clove. Just a hint. That's in the background, basically. Sweet. There's a touch of vanilla. Cereal, definitely. I'm looking at the fig and raisin, but I know it's not something that's in here. I was getting more of a fruit note off of it. We'll say raisin, though. A little bit. And I don't really like raisins, so that doesn't surprise me. Floral. Floral category always messes me up, but I have to say honeysuckle because it's reminding me of spring. Wine, no, not at all. And again, not a wine person. Fruit, here we go. Dried apricots, definitely. A touch of lemon citrus. And clementine. Sulfur, no. Peat, no. There is a very definitive musty note, which I always akin to the malt, but I don't always get it in scotches, so I'm not sure what causes it. Forest floor would fit, but I like the smell of forests. This strange musty smell, not so much. And again, it's faded quite a bit, so I don't dislike the smell, but I am not certain what I'm going to think of the palate. So let's get onto the palate. And before I take a sip, make sure to just take a sip and don't think too much about the initial sip to get your body accustomed to the alcohol. And just to do it, just get it in and drink it. Just drink it. It's so hard to do that when you're doing a tasting experience, but just drink it. Ow. Well, the proof shows up. I had to double check the percentage because I wasn't sure. Let us hold this on the palate and then we will analyze a little bit. What the hell was that? Sean Connery. Little fruit, little malt. More spice than I expected. Oh, that is nice. Hello. It's a little prickly, but not a bad way. I kind of like, if you're familiar with my channel and what I like, I often lean towards high rye bourbons. So there's a little bit of spice action with those usually, and I'm getting that on this, which is a nice surprise for me. A little dry as well. Sweeter than I expected, but not fruit sweetness. I like vanilla sweetness. It's kind of making me think of vanilla ice cream. That's a good texture as well. I like that. Thinking of Honey Nut Cheerios. The grain is prominent, but not in a bad way. A lot of honey notes, vanilla sweetness, and it's a little spiky, a little prickly, peppery, if you will, but nothing crazy, nothing that I don't think a person who's accustomed to drinking whiskey would be afraid of. But I'm not sure if someone who isn't accustomed to higher proof whiskey could deal with this in the same way, since it is very spiky and prickly. That might be a bit distracting for them. Okay, I'll say this. My brain went to watermelon for a second. I don't know what just happened there. That is a new random thought, especially with whiskey, that I don't think is for me specifically. I'm enjoying it. But I feel as someone with more of a grain, single malt kind of passion, high proofs also, would be gearing for this one. I don't dislike it, but I know it's not something I would purposely go and pour for myself. And I mean, I try not to dislike most whiskeys, but there are a few out there that I just can't deal with. This one is very nice and very enjoyable. I'm just going to have a little more. Ginger snap. I would kind of lean into a ginger snap thing with this one. The way it's spicy. Maybe a bit of molasses, too. The texture on it, as I said, is very interesting. I like the texture. And I like that it doesn't dry out my mouth. It keeps this kind of thin coating, if you will, all over my mouth. And it does seem to make you want another sip. Palate phase 2. The flavor is definitely sweet. Proof is 4. I say that because 3 would be at directly 50%. This is just slightly over, so it's more of a 3.5 really, but we'll just say 4. I'm torn with the body. I want to say 4, but I'm going to pull back and say it's a 3. I feel like the other whiskeys I've had, they're a little more rich and fuller than this. Have better body. This one, while good, will stay at a 3. The texture is round and creamy, not in an overwhelming way, but just in the way that it coats your mouth, and something I find enjoyable with whiskeys is the kind of a richer texture to them, rather than just, it being a liquid. It almost reminds me of syrup, maybe corn syrup, something maybe like maple syrup. Balance, does any element dominate? Yes. The spice notes linger on the tongue. The finish is actually pretty long. As you may know, while I'm doing these videos, I'm trying to get through them very quickly. I'm not pausing too much in between them. But it will be a 4 for me as far as the finish goes. Complexity is 3 for this one. I feel like this is a decent whiskey, and it is enjoyable, and I'm very happy that it's a higher proof Scotch. But I feel like there could be a lot more to a whiskey like this, and I'm getting some very basic notes overall, and not much else. There's some interesting bits about it, but as far as something I want to drink and explore and that would be more to my tastes, this is not exactly it. But I like it, and I'm definitely going to enjoy drinking all of this. And once again, for the Game of Thrones fans, we will read the back here for you. House Tyrell of Highgarden rules over the Reach, the lush and fertile region of Westeros, whose abundance feeds the realm. The Tyrell golden rose is beautiful, but hides razor-sharp thorns beneath the surface. They have lived up to their house word of growing strong, defending their position of power with weapons of sharp words, sharp minds, and sharp actions. Like the Reach, Clynelish is positioned among green pastures and rolling hills, with scenic views of the North Sea. The fruity, waxy, and sea-spicy flavors of this single malt are said to come from the water of Clynelish burn, which runs over seams of gold in the rock. And while this vibrant, golden Scotch is light and floral, like House Tyrell, it's not to be underestimated with its underlying complex combination of Highland and maritime qualities. You know, I was getting this faint sea briny-ish thing. I didn't say it because it seemed really like a stretch. And now, of course, I've read it on here and said that out loud first, so no one will believe me. At least now I know what that's supposed to be, but it does not look like a rose with thorns at all. If anything, it reminds me of that monster in Star Wars that swallowed Boba Fett. And to finish up this tasting experience, we will go over the official notes, once again, from malts.com. I swear they're going to need to sponsor me at this point, if you're wondering about the region of Scotland. Highland. Appearance, light golden appearance. Nose, bursting with fresh tropical fruits like papaya and mango. I don't know if I got that, but I did get dried apricot. Palate, the single malt bursts with fresh tropical fruits and slowly subsides into a rich, creamy vanilla character with light floral notes. Hey, I said a few of those things vaguely. Finish. The finish is deeply complex with subtle, sweet, maritime notes revealing the singular Clynelish waxiness lingering on the palate. I don't know why I say it like that. To translate, the finish is deeply complex with subtly sweet maritime notes revealing the signature Clynelish waxiness lingering on the palate. I wouldn't say it's a waxy note, but it does linger. It has a recommendation below. Blue Label. That's right, Johnny Walker's involved with these guys somehow. It's a little wonky. And that's really strange. But I like that. I haven't had Johnny Walker Black in a hot minute. But I could easily imagine this being part of their blend for that. Very, very, very easily. Hell, what they should do, cast drink Johnny Walker Black? Does that even exist? Anyway, thank you for joining me on this tasting experience. Be sure to pay attention next month, because it's going to get wonky. You're going to see a lot of this mustache. I apologize already. As always, live long and prosper. Don't forget to be awesome. And I will see you out there. Thank you for joining me on KillCo Whiskey Musings. You can find my social media and Patreon in the links below. Be sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.